Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have a very aggressive attacking game for you played by the 8th world chess champion Mikhail. His opponent is a Serbian chess grandmaster Dragoljub Velimirovic, who was also a very aggressive player. A very sharp and popular variation of the Sicilian defense is called after him. Before watching the video, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to press the bell button to get notified about new videos. In this game, Mikhail had white pieces and he started with c4 English opening, c5 by Velimirovic. We see the symmetrical defense, b3, knight c6, bishop b2 e5, g3, Tal is going to fianchetto his second, bishop d6, bishop g2, bishop e6, knight c3, queen d7. Now black wants to meet knight f3 with bishop h3, which we will see in the game. Knight f3 and bishop h3. Black is offering an exchange of light squared bishops, thus weakening white's king side. Knight d5. Already white is threatening to fork black king and the rook. That's why we see queen d7, e3, knight e7, knight c3, white still wants to keep alive his knight, and knight f6. Instead of playing knight f6, first expanding on the king side and then playing knight f6 could have been better, but instead after knight c3 we see knight f6 and Tal castles king side. White has already developed all the pieces, has castled, while black still has to solve the problem of the development of the dark squared bishop and prepare castling. e4, a very ambitious move by Dragoljub Velimirovic. This pawn on e4 square can be easily targeted by white pieces. Knight g5, already white wants to win the pawn on e4 square, and d5. Black is opening up the center of the board, but this only favors white because black king is still stuck in the center of the board. After knight g5 it was better to play queen f5 and protect the pawn. Instead we see d5. Now comes c takes d5 and queen f5, but already it's too late. Here Mikhail went for a hyper-aggressive knight takes f7 sacrifice. Though the engine doesn't like this move, but as you know, engines have no soul and there are only two types of sacrifices, correct ones and Tal's. King takes f7 was played, black accepted the sacrifice and f3. Mikhail wants to open up the f file. Knight d5, we see f takes e4, knight takes c3, black is counterattacking white queen, that's why white recaptured. Queen takes e4 and queen h5 check, using the fact that the knight on f6 is pinned. King e6, queen h3 check, king d6. Well, if we move like king f7, then white can capture on f6 and then play queen h5 check and then queen d5 check, and this actually can be dangerous for black. That's why after queen h3 check we see king d6. Black wants to bring his king on the queen side where it will feel safer. Understanding his intentions, Mikhail played b4, this time trying to open up the queen side, but actually instead of playing b4, already capturing on f6 was playable, but in the game we see b4, king c7. Well, capturing on b4 can be very dangerous because after this line king c7, rook c1 check, black's position actually looks terrible. This is going to be winning for white. This exposed black king can become an easy target for white pieces. That's why after b4 we see king c7, rook c1, the second rook is also coming, and rook c8. At some point black can bring his king on a safer square. Rook f5, Mikhail is now threatening bishop e5 check and is acting against king b8. White is not allowing black king to escape. Right now king b8 can be met with bishop e5 check. If king a8, simply rook takes f8, attacking the rook on c8. That's why after rook f5 we see queen g4. Though the most precise move is b6. If bishop takes f6, then g takes f6. If rook takes f6, then rook d8. Black is holding, no problem. But after rook f5 we see queen g4, bishop e5 check, king d7 and queen f1. At some point this queen can jump on b5 square. Queen e4, well, it was better to play c4. If bishop takes f6, then g takes f6. If rook f4, then queen e6. Again, black is holding, but in the game we see queen e4 and this is becoming very dangerous. Here comes rook c4, queen c6 and queen h3, white wants to capture f6, thus giving a check. Queen e6, now comes bishop takes f6, g takes f6, and now you can pause the video and try to find Mikhail Tal's next move. Ready? Well, looks like that black managed to defend successfully. This queen is covering black king, and also right now black is a piece up. But in this position, Mikhail Tal played a fantastic rook e4 move. He's sacrificing a rook in order to lure away black queen and open up this diagonal. Now if queen takes e4, simply rook e5 discover check, and black is losing his queen. That's why black went for this desperate queen takes a2 move, but after rook takes c5 discover check, black resigned. If king d8, then queen takes c8 checkmate, or if a move like king d6, then rook d4, and then queen d7 checkmate. That's why in view of these lines, after rook c5 check, black resigned. A very beautiful and instructive game, I think. Once again, Mikhail Tal demonstrated how to exploit the fact that your opponent's king is still in the center of the board. By sacrificing a piece and then opening up the center of the board, Mikhail Tal easily targeted black king. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you, and for more games don't forget to subscribe to my channel.